Another important thing on Instagram is to have a source on there to speak to them about the business. So obviously when somebody says, yes, I'm interested to know more, then you can do a couple of things. So I used to be of the mindset of getting them onto Facebook, obviously for our business opportunity group, which yes, is a really good move. However, I was missing a few people through the cracks who would either not have Facebook or who would say yes and then wouldn't add me, and I was missing a few people basically. So what you can do, and again, look at my Instagram for inspiration, is you can have what we call highlights. So in my highlights, I have got one where it's our video from the business opportunity group where I talk about my story. I would highly recommend you have your own, even if you've just started, just talk about why you started. And that's a highlight of mine that I send to people who say yes. Then I've got the one where I talk about the business, how it works. If you feel confident enough in the business, you can obviously do your own one talking about it and just copy mine, or you can put mine on there as your highlight and you can send that to them. And obviously I send that over as soon as they say yes, and you can just literally hold the highlight down and click send to and send it to the person. And then obviously depending on what they say, I will then probably voice note them to give them any more information, and just go from there. And just like with your connections book for Facebook, anybody on Instagram who says yes, I will add them also to my connections book. And just the same concept where you go through, you follow up, you check in with them, you keep interacting on their page just like you would with Facebook. And it's just important to know basically where you're going to go with that. Another thing as well, there's obviously a video in our group about stories. Have a little watch of that, because you're not posting products on your Instagram grid. It's very important that you have it in your stories all the time. And I'm not going to go into loads of details. There's a whole separate video on stories, but you basically want to have polls about the business, about the product, be sharing you, and you want to be living the mission. You want to be showing in your stories how your products and this business are a massive part of you and your lifestyle, because that's what people buy into, okay? People buy into your stories, you sharing them. And that's all this business really is. It's just you sharing the product. So stories go alongside. If your stories are effective, obviously it's going to work. If you've got an Instagram grid what's really beautiful but no products, and your stories are empty, nobody's going to know what you're doing. So you have to make sure that you've got the content in your stories, but don't make your stories too spammy. And again, if you want any extra information, head over to the stories video and have a little watch. As like on Facebook, interacting on Instagram is so important. Commenting on people's posts, that kind of thing, loving them, going through stories, interacting. And I try and do this 2 to 3 times a day. And that's kind of Instagram really. I don't post on there loads. I tend to post on Instagram twice a day. I tend to do like a morning quote. I tend to do like a post in the evening that is a picture of me with my morning quotes. This is really important. I actually archive them, so I don't delete them, but I archive them just so it keeps my grid looking really aesthetically pleasing with just pictures of me. If I'm doing a live on Facebook, I will use the Facebook Friendly app to download it as a video, to upload as an Instagram TV, which again you can have on your page, but you can delete from your page, so it still shows on your Instagram TV but not on your actual grid. And the same with Reels. They show on your Instagram grid, but you can delete them off there, so they're still on your Instagram but not directly on your grid.